Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be another video in the series of a narcissist fears. We can't know what an individual narcissist fears. We can go on the characteristics of the disorder and the criteria to be diagnosed as a narcissist. We can go on their behaviour to make generalizations of what they fear and go on what they accuse others of. So if they say to another person, it's not all about you, it's usually because to a narcissist, it's all about them. This video is going to be on the narcissist requirement for excessive attention and why they fear being ignored. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. Narcissistic people often require heavily on the attention from those around them, the praise from those around them. They need a supply of adoration from those around them. As often without it, they feel worthless. They feel like they are nothing, which is often why one of their biggest fears is to be ignored. Why narcissistic people can deploy the silent treatment so well, because they themselves know how it feels or can think of how it would feel to be on the receiving end of the silent treatment, so they will punish others by giving other people the silent treatment. When it comes to some people just don't like any form of attention. Some people have to push themselves into situations they feel uncomfortable in because they're going to receive attention and they don't really want to receive any attention. But if it's a job where they've got to do a speech, they might not want to do it, but they will push themselves into doing it. Requirement of excessive attention is just one of the 9 criteria to be classed as on the disorder. So just because someone seeks attention, if they don't bring other people down, then they're just somebody who likes attention. They could just be somebody who's had to build up the confidence to do the things that they do. When it comes to a narcissist, if they're not getting the attention they believe they are entitled to, they are going to pull everybody else down. They are going to punish those that aren't giving the narcissist the attention they believe they're entitled to. There's plenty of people in the world that don't mind being invisible. There's plenty of people in the world that would prefer not to be seen. There's plenty of people in the world who actually hold themselves back for fear of being seen. Whereas with a narcissist, they usually find ways to gain attention. A narcissist will point out their achievements. Narcissistic people do for others in order to receive praise, in order to receive eternal gratitude from those around them. Narcissists will flatter people in order to receive a compliment in return. Narcissistic people only do for others because they expect something in return. It's one of those where if you are going to do something for me to use against me later down the line, don't do it in the first place, which is what narcissistic people do. They do for you to use against you. And when someone comes at you and says, what about when I did this for you? After all I've done for you, it shows they were only doing those things to get something out of you. They weren't doing those things out of the goodness of their own heart. A narcissist will cause conflict, drama, absolute chaos in order to get the attention they believe they're entitled to. They will cause conflict between friendship groups, and then they will come along either playing the hero or playing the victim to gain that attention. They will bait people into reacting to gain that attention. They will goad people, they will chip away at people, they will provoke people to get people to a place that they don't usually go to. They will bring the worst out in people so that they can blame people for the reactions to the narcissist behaviour, so that they can escape consequences for their actions and also gain attention by doing so. They can gain sympathy from others by playing the victim. They can gain adoration from others by love bombing people. Narcissists will cheat on multiple partners. Not all narcissists. They only need at least 5 of the 9 criteria to be classed on the disorder. And some people can just have 1 or 2 of the criteria and just have high levels of narcissism. So not all narcissists cheat on their partners. Those who crave excessive attention often will cheat on their partners. Not all narcissists fear being ignored. It depends whether that requirement for excessive attention is part of their disorder. However, most of them do. Narcissists will be controversial just to provoke reactions from people. Narcissists will create that conflict so that they can swoop in and claim that they are the hero and they're trying to help people out. They will create that conflict so they can play the victim. And when someone does all these kinds of things, it's because they are seeking that attention and they don't care for how that affects those around them. They only care for getting the attention they believe they're entitled to. Therefore, because they want that attention, more often than not, they fear not getting the attention. They fear being ignored. The feeling of being irrelevant, the feeling of being unimportant can frighten a narcissist to the core. And because of this, they will put themselves in situations where they will gain attention. They will also use this fear against others. They will create feelings of dependency within those around them. They will get people to feel like they are dependent on the narcissist. So people walk on eggshells to please the narcissist for fear of abandonment from the narcissist. A narcissist will neglect people to get people to work harder to please them. A narcissist will fall silent on people to get people to question themselves, to doubt themselves, and to conform to the narcissist demands. A narcissist is manipulatively conditioning people so that the narcissist can control those people. Whether with that individual narcissist, it's learned behaviour from childhood, that's what worked for them to get the attention they believed they're entitled to, or whether it's more calculated and they know exactly what they're doing. It depends on the narcissist you are dealing with. And when it comes to a narcissist, this is often why they do cheat and often why they do have multiple partners or multiple sources of supply lined up. Those who don't cheat will usually find supply from somewhere, whether that's using their children to their advantage, using their parents, using their friends, using their family. They will usually have somebody that they are gaining attention from. If a narcissist cannot rule through love, they will rule through fear. Often why they go for the smear campaigns. They will try to destroy people so that they are getting that sympathetic attention from others, with no regard to how that smear campaign is affecting those that the narcissist once claimed to care for. They will also use people's insecurities and weaknesses and vulnerabilities against them to get people to fear them, to get people to conform to the narcissist's demands. Most people don't like being ignored. Most people feel pain when they're ignored, especially by someone that claims to love them, who they love. Most people feel feelings such as guilt or shame for going no contact with a narcissist. A narcissist doesn't have these same feelings, not in the way that we do. With a narcissist, if you're not doing what they want, they believe you've turned against them. Therefore, they're holding a grudge against you. They're holding on to resentment against you, and they want to get at you. So they want to cause you pain by falling silent on you, by ghosting you, by no longer talking to you, because they lack the empathy to care. They lack the object consistency to care. Even when there's conflict or disagreements, they can simply shut their empathy off and no longer care for how their behaviour is affecting you. However, they do care for how your behaviour is affecting them, whether that is their perceived behaviour or whether that is your actual behaviour. So you can just simply have a belief and create a boundary around that belief, or have a value and create a boundary around that value and say no to a narcissist. And they're going to take this as criticism. They're going to hold a grudge against you for saying no when you have every right to say no. But when a narcissist says no to you, usually accept that no and leave them to live their life for who they are as a person. Narcissists don't want to see other people's viewpoints as you see theirs. They are only interested in their own. One of a narcissist's biggest fears is being ignored. Often why, when you go no contact, you can feel the wrath of their smear campaign, or they can come at you with the Hoover if they've not got other sources of supply lined up. When it comes to dealing with a narcissist, the best way to deal with them is don't. Leave them to it. Leave them to go and live their life while you go and live your life. Just because someone requires attention does not mean they have a disorder. If somebody doesn't go around destroying other people, if somebody doesn't go around pulling other people down to feel better about themselves, then they just like their ego being stroked. Still might not be the kind of person you personally want to be around. Just because somebody doesn't like receiving attention doesn't mean they're not a narcissist. If somebody doesn't like receiving attention, yet they go around destroying other people, they go around hurting other people, they go around repeating patterns of behaviour, they're not the kinds of people you want to be around. The narcissist personality disorder is the reason behind why certain people behave in the ways they do. It is not an excuse. And there is also people who would behave in similar ways who are not a narcissist. What we have to recognise is how we feel around people, what our emotions are telling us. We have to define ourselves so well that other people can no longer define us. We have to know our intent. We have to know our reason why, so that when people come at us trying to chip away at us, trying to say we're doing this because of this and it's not because of what we're doing, it's not the reason why, we can hold on to our reason why and leave them to it. Respect their seeing things from a different viewpoint and let them go and get on with their life while we get on with ours. Not everybody's going to agree with everybody. That doesn't mean we have to change other people's opinions, and it doesn't mean we have to change our opinion to suit other people. It means they have their perspective and we have our perspective. If anyone has any thoughts on the video, please add those into the comments. Thank you very much for listening. I am currently full for one-to-one coaching. I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is in the description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.